Hi guys, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video which is unlike my other videos. It's how to do your makeup with an NG tube in. Basically, I wear an NG tube because I have Crohn's disease, which is an inflammatory bowel disease, and that causes me to have a lot of inflammation and ulceration in my digestive system. So in order to give me bowel rest at certain times, I do wear an NG tube. This is basically a tube that goes up my nose, down the back of my throat, right down into my stomach, and then I'll connect it up to a liquid feed that then goes through the tube into my stomach. It means I don't have to eat for however long. Basically, because I have been wearing it for a while, I've picked up some tricks and tips on how to do my makeup whilst I'm wearing it, because it can be logistically quite difficult. This is by no means, me saying that you should wear makeup whenever you're wearing an NG tube. Usually if people are wearing an NG tube, they are sick or have some kind of illness that they're trying to recover from, and they might feel like wearing makeup. But for me, whenever I'm wearing the NG tube and I'm going about my daily business and I'm out and about in the world, I tend to get quite a lot of people looking at it because they don't know what it is, they're interested. And because I know whenever I'm going out of the house, people will ultimately stare, I think, well, I might as well look good while they're staring. So that's why I like to wear my makeup whenever I'm wearing the NG tube, so that if someone's staring at me, I can say, right, well, at least I'm rocking the NG tube because I look fabulous today. So that's why I personally like to wear probably more makeup than I usually would whenever I'm actually wearing the NG tube, because I know that I'm going to get a lot of attention with it. I know that I'm going to get a lot of stares. That's just my personal opinion. By no means does anyone that's wearing an NG tube have to do this. It's just if you do choose to wear makeup whenever you're wearing the NG tube, hopefully you'll find this video useful and you'll pick up some useful hints. So let's just jump right into it. So I take my NG tube in and out as I need to use it. So if I'm going to be putting it in the morning, I'll usually cleanse and moisturize my face first, and then I'll go in with an alcohol-based product just to take off anything that is in this area, so that whenever I put my dressing on, it will adhere to the skin. If there's any sort of oil or moisturizer in this area, the dressing won't stick properly. So I usually use Clearasil just because it's got a high alcohol content, but you can use an alcohol wipe or anything that you want. And then for my dressing, I just use the Duoderm extra thin spots. I've really sensitive skin, so I find that using sort of surgical tape or Tegaderm or anything like that would have irritated my skin, whereas this is really, really gentle. And they also use it quite often in children because it is so gentle. And sorry about my fingernails, they're covered in paint because I've been helping to paint my house and I just can't get the paint off, so sorry about that. I've just gone ahead and done my eyebrows and my eye makeup. I usually go for quite a dramatic eye whenever I'm wearing my NG tube, just because I like to take the focus to my eyes and try to take the attention away from my NG tube. So I've just used the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills just to do my eye makeup, and also the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade just to do my eyebrows also. I'm trying to keep this tutorial short and just focus on the particulars of doing your makeup with an NG tube, so that will mainly focus on sort of the face routine, the foundation, the blush, etc. So you can do whatever you want with your eyes. I just tend to go quite dramatic, as I said, just to bring the focus to my eyes. So one of the problems I have with wearing an NG tube is that I often come out with a little cut right on the underside of my nostril. It basically results from the NG tube sort of tugging on my nostril and irritating it, and then I end up with quite a lot of redness underneath my nostril. It also makes my nose run all the time, so constantly like wiping my nose with a tissue leaves me with quite a lot of red skin around my nose. Also, my medication that I'm on has caused me loads of problems with my skin. I have quite a lot of redness at the minute. I have to go see my dermatologist to sort of figure out what's going on, but what I do first of all to counteract the redness is I go in with a colour corrector. I just use the Complexion Conceal and Light Like a Pro palette. And this is basically just sort of a concealer and colour correcting palette. And I just go in with this green colour, and that just counteracts the redness. So I just use a little concealer brush. This is by Daly. Then I'll just go in with my damp Real Techniques makeup sponge and just sort of blend that out. So I'm just going to use my usual foundation, which is the Clinique Even Better Skin in the shade Honey. And I'm just going to mix that with my Rimmel Match Perfection in the shade Light Porcelain. And then I'll just go in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just buff this in. I actually just realised I forgot to put on primer, but I usually use the Maybelline Baby Skin primer on my sort of nose area, but I forgot to do that. And using the brush just helps me to be more accurate and sort of go around the tube and the dressing as well. And then once I get to this area, I just sort of try to be really accurate. You can kind of go in and under. And it's okay if you get it on it, it's just, you can just wipe it off after using the same alcohol based solution that you used earlier. I just used my Clearasil. But it's easy to just sort of get into this area using the brush. And then I just go in with some concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 15. I just put this under the eyes. Usually whenever you're wearing an NG tube, it's because of some kind of illness, and I tend to have, whenever I'm feeling sick, really dark circles under my eyes. So if I go in with some concealer, it sort of brightens up that area and makes you look less tired and more healthy. And then this little stick can sort of get in under there. And then I'll just use my makeup sponge just to blend that out. And then on this side I just go in with the same foundation brush I used earlier, just because I think it's hard sort of to get the makeup sponge in those areas with the tube there. So I just go in with the foundation brush again and sort of stipple that concealer in. And then I'll use my fingers as well. And then once you're happy with the foundation, we'll just go ahead and powder it. To powder around the NG tube, I usually just use a flat foundation brush. So I'm just going to use this one by Daly, and I'm going to use my Laura Mercier Loose Translucent Setting Powder. And just get a little bit of that on there. It doesn't need to be absolutely loads, you don't need to go ham with it, you know. And just sort of pat that on, especially onto the areas where you put the concealer, just to set it. And with this, you can really get right in under that tube. You just powder those areas that are quite hard to reach. And then for the rest of the face, I'm just going to take the same powder on this little velour sort of powder puff and just put a little bit of product on there, not too much. And just sort of push that in just to set the concealer and the foundation. So then for my contour, I'm just going to go in with this Master Sculpt contour palette by Maybelline in the shade Light Medium. I'm just going to go in with this little angled contour brush by Morphe. It's from the Badger brush set. And because the dressing's in the way, we can't do like a full contour, but we can kind of do half a contour. So sort of just right in here. And then just even it out on the other side. And then for blush, I'm just going to use the MAC blush in the shade Melba. And to be fair, there's not really much you can do with blush on this side. So I just blush this side, just to give myself a bit of a healthy glow whenever I'm not feeling too good and I don't feel very healthy. I can kind of make myself look a bit healthier and rosy with some nice blush. And then for highlighter, I'm just going to go in with the sleek Solstice highlighting palette. And I'm going to use this Morphe fan brush, again from the Badger brush set. And then I'm just going to mix these two shades onto the fan brush. And then once I have the product on the fan brush, I'm just going to spray it with a bit of MAC Fix Plus. And that'll just make the highlighter come out really strong and look really pretty. So whenever people are looking at you with your NG tube in, they might actually just be looking at your highlighter and saying, wow, she has dazzling cheekbones. And then I just put a little bit on the tip of the nose. And then I just run that gold shade just along the bridge of the nose. And then the gold shade just on the Cupid's bow. And then for this side, we'll just do the same as this other side, but we'll have to just go over the dressing and then wipe it off later. And then you can even bring it up there, just above the eyebrow a wee bit. So because we've put on quite a bit of powder, I'm just going to go in with MAC Fix Plus. This sort of helps the powder to not look so cakey and look like part of the skin. So just spray a wee bit of that on. So whilst that's drying, I'm just going to go in and do the lips. Because I've applied quite a lot of you know, face makeup, and also I've done quite a dramatic eye, I'm just going to go for quite a nude lip. So I'm going to use the MAC lip liner in the shade Strip Down. And then I'm just going to go in with the NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Push Up. This is one of their matte liquid lipstick range, and it's a lovely brown nude colour. And then I'll just go in with a bit of the Makeup Revolution Pro Fix setting spray, just to make sure this lasts all day. As you know, I put a lot of effort into it, I might as well help it last all day. And then once I'm done doing my entire face, I'll just go in with some of the Clearasil or alcohol-based product that you want to use on a little cotton pad, and I'll just wipe over that dressing. So I really hope you picked up some useful tricks and tips on how to do your makeup whilst you have an NG tube in. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below of any other videos you would like to see, whether that be an NG tube related video or a beauty video. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, please do so, as I'd love to see you in my upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!